Walk people through who are going to the National. What are some things they can do to properly prepare for the National, and how they can navigate them? Where we're talking about a 5-day show, are there different strategies per day? Are there different things you want to think about? Are there some sales that may happen on Saturday and Sunday that you may not see on Thursday and Friday? Walk people through that.
Take advantage of every after hours opportunity you can, especially earlier in the week, trade nights, going out to dinner with friends, whatever it is. Take advantage of that as of the early times, because you don't know, by Saturday you might not feel like going out until 2 in the morning, 3 in the morning. But if you still feel like hustling, I don't think there's ever a bad time for deals. I think you see a lot more deals, as in buying at better prices, maybe towards the end of the weekend. But for me, when I went last year, obviously last year's a way different market than this year, but it seemed like every day there was deals. There's always another deal. So when you're making those perceptions, or of should I pick this card up, if it's a card that's maybe a 101 or a low number, low pop card, obviously that's when you got to make that decision. Is this what I really want for the weekend? Is this, if I buy this and I don't buy anything else this weekend, am I going to be happy? But if it's just buying stuff maybe to flip, there's always another deal. Um, One of the biggest mistakes I made last year is almost buying too early, and getting to that Friday, Saturday. Luckily, last year I was able to turn and burn a little bit of the stuff, but if you're not turning and burning that stuff really quickly, you will run out of money really fast. So managing your money is huge. If I'm going to give you one piece of advice, it's buy some really nice, comfortable shoes, because
I tell people that all the time. Yeah, you're
you're
going
going
to
to
put.
be doing you're going to be putting some steps in, and most of the time the National is concrete, so the floor. I don't know what the convention center there's like, but my feet were killing me by Sunday. Because I wore flops, and I wish I would have had a little comfier shoe. Um, Packing as light as possible too. I was just talking about this earlier this week. Um, so everyone has those slab cases, right? Those slab cases are amazing. But if you can't carry your slab case for more than an hour, without setting it down, there's not a lot of places really to go and sit or set stuff down.
Sure.
So when you're walking around with that heavy slab case for 5 days, 10 days straight, or 5 days straight, and I say 10 days because you have the nighttime too, but um, definitely make sure you're packing well. Don't bring cards that you're not going to sell. Don't bring cards that maybe you're just on the fence about. Maybe they're like $5, $10 cards. You're like, oh, this is not really the place to bring bulk. You know, I mean, that's what you got. That's what you got. Great. But this is kind of the place where you're going to bring stuff to turn and burn it. Whether it's $5 or $100, just don't bring, you don't have to bring everything you have. If you can just pack maybe 20, 30 cards from maybe different values, and organize them, start there and work from there. I mean, you don't need to bring your whole 5 row box of everything you have and
Sure.
carry that around all day, and I think that was one of the biggest mistakes I made last year too, is I almost packed too much, and then carrying around for one day, you're just like, man, I don't want to carry this around anymore. Zion cases, they make an amazing backpack. It has a nice
I'll
storage
bring
case,
it up. Yeah.
and they just came out with that. It's probably one of the best things on the market. I guarantee you, he's going to sell 1,000 of those at Nationals. The one with the little case in it. He also has a little handbag one that has a little cubby in it. That's great as well. I like that one for trade night. Maybe if you want to bring like 5 cards and not have a huge backpack. Theft is a huge thing at these shows, guys, and especially at this show. I remember last year people were going up to tables and stealing. It happens at every show, but this show is specifically, is there's a lot of people, so you really have to watch your stuff because people like your stuff. So
And what people should also know is that these shows are well monitored.
yes, 100%.
So someone may be walking around with the intent to take or remove an item from a table. That table is under surveillance. I mean, last year at the National, there were signs everywhere that were saying you're on video recording right now. There were
I can't
police
imagine.
officers walking around, And I wouldn't be surprised if there was plainclothes police officers walking around.
I
And
can't imagine the security this year with everything going on.
yeah, I'm pretty sure this year in Atlantic City, um, hopefully we don't hear of anything, but it will not be taken lightly. I mean,
No.
things will be watched.
Yep. And I definitely felt safe. That was never a problem.
Hmm.
If you are a younger adult, I would definitely have a parent though. I always recommend a fanny pack. You know, everyone, that's kind of my thing. I got it the last year's national as a fanny pack, but man, I saw three people drop their wallets at the national, just pulling their wallet out, pulling out a 20, buying a card, and sticking your wallet back in your pocket. You miss, and you don't even realize it, you know, because you're just so adrenaline rush that you just got that deal, you know. Fanny packs are great. You can put all your money there, you know, and then you just have it right here at all times, you know. So
And another
um,
thing I like to say to people too, now you're talking about adrenaline rushes, is that you can get overstimulated at the national.
you can.
You know, so don't be a take some time sometimes to walk away, 15 minutes, take a breather, take a break. There are some people you'll find probably. I know I'm more used to Chicago. Some people may just sit right on the floor in a corner. Take the time to breathe. Get some water. Don't get dehydrated. They'll be selling water there. You can also bring your own stuff in. Those kind of. It's almost like think of yourself going camping or hiking. If you have that mindset and you're walking in, you kind of know how to prepare so that you don't hit a wall by like 2 o'clock.
Yeah, huge. You cannot. I mean, you hear it from everybody. Every second, every minute in there is valuable time. Especially if you're going in there, you know, to make a purchase, you know, make a play. You're having to go look for that card, look for those things, and maybe going to the trade night, you could have made that play, but you can't go to the trade night because you're tired. Take advantage of that sleep. Take advantage of staying hydrated. It's going to be hot, so.
Are you going to see some cars at trade night that you may not see throughout the entire show?
Oh, that was for me last year. The trade night was where I did a majority of my plays.
So did I. We got there first day, and you talking about spending money. That trade night, I just said, I'm here right now. I see
Mhm.
some cars that are different. I'm going to make some investments. And the rest of the show, I kind of did some other stuff. But my strategy flipped because I went to trade night just thinking I'm going to browse around. Never been to trade night international. This is like something new. Let me walk
Yeah,
around and see what's going on. Before I knew it, it's like, oh, wow. I'm seeing some Brady's here. I'm seeing some Mike Trouts. Wow.
right. And you know, and that's the thing. Like I said earlier about, there's always another deal. You might see something day one of the show, and you're like, man, I really want that. But let's say you only have $100, $1,000 to spend. I don't know but there's always another deal, guys. And maybe
True.
you can turn that 100 on from Wednesday to Friday. You can turn that 100 into 300. You just got to find the right play.
That's right. Find the right play.
Where's the market going to go next? That's the question on everyone's mind. I think the National is going to be fun, though. I think it's going to really be a true tell of where the hobby's at. I think it's really going to show people that the hobby is alive, even if it's not last year's National. The one thing I think you need to keep an eye on, though, as I said earlier, is the booths, is the amount of money these vendors are putting into their display. I think you're definitely going to see a lot of these guys level up their displays this year.
I agree with
Um, I
you. Yep.
think just looking at the Mint Collective, I think it's going to feel like a museum effect a little bit when you're walking around some of these booths because there's a lot of money that goes into just the booth itself. And keep that in mind when you're walking around. Don't be afraid to take it in. But I liked your point about taking breaks too. Don't take it in too fast.
Yeah, take breaks. I mean, it'll be you. I'm a firm believer in finding what's there for me.
Yep.
Like I don't feel like I'm to the moon's beat me to the table to look at a particular car. And there are a lot of cars that really interest people. So if you're looking for something in particular, I think you'll find it. Um, I still saw stuff last day 5 minutes before the door is closed. So it's not. I'm a firm believer, and when I go to a show, I'm gonna find the cars that's there for me. If I go early, if I went after lunch and check some areas that I didn't check before. Also, don't skip over the people that are around you, and I think you alluded to this earlier, while you're at the National. There are some amazing people walking by. People you can build with. I met To The Moon at the National.
Yeah, we met just randomly too.
I had seen you a little bit before that, and we was walking by. I said, "To the moon," and then you turned around. Here we are. Don't walk past people that you can get to know. That might be somebody that's 5 miles on the road. You just haven't met them yet.
And
Talk
don't
to
be
me.
afraid to, go up to somebody just randomly that you might like. I mean, if you see a FD at the National, FD's not going to turn you away because you're a fan coming up to him. Just don't bother him during a deal. But a lot of these guys, like these YouTube celebrities, these Instagram celebrities, go say hi to them. That's what they want you to do. Don't be afraid to go up to them. It's half the fun of for them as well. I promise.
Mm-hmm. Very true.
Yeah, I think when it comes to prices, we control the market, and I think that's one thing that a lot of people forget is what are we basing our last price on? Is a sale that somebody else made, and never be afraid to charge more than the last comp, guys, because that comp is there because somebody chose to sell that card. You probably won't get more than the last comp, but you don't be afraid to set your prices, but understand the way that this market has been built is around someone else's price. So, or the price of the last sold item of what someone was willing to pay. So, when you're selling stuff, understand that going in. And if you have something that maybe is someone sold it for 600, you want 1,000, it might not be the time to sell that card.
Yeah, it may not be.
That
This
one,
this may not be the market for that either.
that's once again though where we're talking about when you're packing for the National or you're packing to go to a card show. You don't have to take every single card. If you have a card that's 1,000, you want 1,000, but it's worth 600 right now in the market. I probably wouldn't bring that card to the National because you're just going to deal with headaches all weekend and maybe eventually sell that card for 500 when you didn't really want to sell that card. It's better maybe you just leave that card at home and then take something else.
And is this the National? Now that you're talking about this, I'm thinking about. Is it? I don't sell a lot, so I'm just asking people that do. Is this the National to bring the turn items? The items that may be at a cheaper price point, that may be of some star players, that may be more. You may get more reception at your table. I want to see that Julio Rodriguez card that may be $300 than something that's $6,000. I don't know.
This is the National to bring one thing and one thing only: paper. Green paper with USD on it.
That's what I did last year.
That's all you need.
Well, I didn't bring any cards to the National. I walked in with what I thought my budget was,
Mm-hmm.
and I tried to work that budget to the moon.
Yeah.
I'm trying to get everything I can out of that budget.
That's all you need. If it as for cards though, I think this is the year for football. This is the year for basketball. This is the year for everything. You just have to figure out your table almost needs to tell a story. Some people don't have $80,000 cards. Some people have a bunch of $100,000 cards. This is the place to bring those cards. But if you don't have that and you're set up, what's your story for your table? If someone's going to walk up, what's going to keep them at your table or make them stop at your table? You know, once you figure that out, you'll be good. But if you just put a bunch of cash in a showcase, that works just as good too. I promise.
But I'm just gonna say again, like have fun. Let's say you don't find the gym cards that you're looking for. You don't sell the gym cards you thought you were gonna sell. Did you meet some gym people though?
Right.
Did you build some gym relationships? Kick it off? Did you go have dinner with somebody you didn't know
Hmm.
and build a relationship there and laugh over a meal? If you can walk away with that, did you get some pictures with some people that you didn't
Yes.
know before? If you can walk away with that, I'll tell you, I think it's a good show.
It's a good show.